Hey, Perry.
Hey, how are you?
I'm hanging in there.
Busy week, huh?
Oh, it's been an insane week. There's Jess.
Hey,
Jess is here. I am so sorry, Jess. I don't know how. Anyway.
girl, I've never put on a summit, so kudos to you. That is not toilet paper. That is bubble wrap. That is bubble wrap. Can I clean this up? Look how neat your guys' is. I'm not
Well,
cleaning it up.
Yeah, all the other, if I turn this around, it will not be neat.
This is a death pile.
Well, at least you're working on it.
I know. I sold 12 things on Mercari on Sunday. Such a surprise. I was like, okay.
Oh my God, people are messaging me while I'm in the middle of this. And I'm like, I am in the middle of a presentation. Can we just?
Yeah, I get messages a lot. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, we're live. Hold on.
I don't think it's possible to ruffle your feathers at all, Nicole.
Oh my God, I have to laugh to keep from crying. I'm telling you right now. I have to laugh to keep from crying. But it's all good. It's all good. All right. So I'm looking, maybe Greg went in a different way. I don't know. Let me go see if I need to promote him. No, he's not here yet. Okay. This is going to be a great panel. Yesterday's panel was good. Did you guys get to check it out or no? Everybody's working on shipments.
No, I got 4 kids. Well, you have more, right?
No, I have one or two.
I have 2, and one of them is 4 kids combined. Yeah.
Right. Oh, yes.
Yeah, he's got the biggest, though. He wins.
How many do you have, Perry?
We have 13 kids, but 8 at home.
8 at home. That's right.
Yeah.
You beat Joy. Oh my gosh, you beat Joy.
I know Joy has 8, but then she has a zillion grandbabies, and they just keep multiplying. I love it.
Our 7th grandchild is due this summer, so.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. No rest for the wicked, right?
No rest for the wicked.
No. Why would you ever do that? So they kids just. My ex actually took my big kid, my bonus daughter.
Okay, you have some kind of weird sound thing happening.
Me?
I think one of my people just joined again is me. Yeah. I have to remove them. Okay, hold on. I got to remove them. They have to log out. So my people log into my Zoom account and they're logged in as me. Let me turn off noise.
Interesting. Like as an employee or something? I don't know what you're talking about.
My team that's helping with the summit.
Yes. Hard. Oh yeah, I got approved for grocery. Wonderful, Brian. Fantastic. Wonderful. They're unloading the dishwasher. I didn't even ask them. I love you. My kids went to my ex's house and worked out in his home gym today. I was like, okay, I wish I had a home gym. I can't hear you, Perry.
Did we lose you?
I make my 13-year-old do 2 miles a day walking and running just to keep him safe.
And like out of trouble and like tired.
He gets all mad. He's like slamming doors like, what do I have to do this? And then he comes back and he's nice for 6 hours. I'm like, I don't know. I think you just need to take a walk.
I am going to use that. I think this is Renata joining for the 3rd time. Hey, Renata.
Well, Perry, you guys have been homeschooling for a long time, so you are the PE teacher. That's what I told my kids. I'm like, I'm the PE teacher now. You better start doing push-ups.
Yeah.
They're like, we don't like it.
Right. About 10 years ago, I kind of realized, like I had this moment of clarity. Like I struggle with my weight. I'm diabetic. And all my friends who are my age and older who didn't, they played sports all the way through high school and college. And I was like, I got to get these kids moving or they're going to have the same problems as me. Right.
Right.
Yes.
So I'm a little bit of an overachiever. So we started with Beachbody's Insanity.
Oh, okay.
Just go all in. If you're going to go all in.
Yeah. My kids still talk about, like, shudder when they talk about that. Like, oh, remember when Dad made us do that? But my oldest 5 are basically, they have really good fitness habits now. So
Good.
That is good. I need to implement that.
Yeah, I mean, I love the gym, and it makes me really sad. I miss it a lot because it's my outlet. But I have my weights. We've been doing it, running outside. We got trampoline, so
Nice.
there's no. I
All
need
right.
people need masks in Evansville, Indiana. Just so you know, if you guys know anybody,
Okay.
masks are needed.
Well, they're making masks here, and so we need to make some masks. Oh my gosh.
I don't know how to sew, so I can't make like the homemade ones.
I used to sew many years ago.
I can't even sew a button. Like that's my husband's job. It's in our vows. We'll sew all the buttons.
Yeah, here's your ring and here's your needle.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
All right, well, we're going to go ahead and
Let's get started. And if he pops in, right?
he pops in. I don't know where he is, so
That's okay. There's a lot going on.
there's a lot going
Greg and I
on.
can answer. Oh, you can't do RA now, so let's talk about OA. Just kidding.
Maybe I
know
just ask
people
you guys
who
all
are
the
still doing
questions.
RA even after the lockdown. I'm just telling you, there's people still doing RA.
Not me. Wholesale. No.
Yeah, I know, because you got a whole family. You don't want to bring anything home, but I'm telling you, people are still doing RA.
I mean, I miss leaving my house.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, we're going for a walk after this session is over. That's all Nicholas kept saying over and over again. I've heard it 200 times today. Go for a walk. Go for a walk. Walk.
That's how I felt until today. I've been in the house since last Thursday. I'm in my office now. It's our last, like at midnight, the hardcore shelter in place
goes
order kicks in. Yeah. So.
Yeah, ours kicked in. You already know ours kicked in already. So
yeah.
Okay, so this is Nicole Whitlock with the eCom Seller Summit, and today we have with us an awesome and distinguished panel. Sorry, everything is a song. Everyone just needs to embrace that everything is a song.
It is. I embrace it. I love it. I love it.
So we are going to talk about retail arbitrage and online arbitrage in today's climate with everything that's going on with COVID-19. We have actually 3 panelists. Greg may pop on at any moment. And they're going to share their thoughts, their opinions, their position on, how to weather either the storm or adjust in your business, pivot. So what I would love to do is have each panelist go around and talk for about 10 minutes about RA in general, and then talk about, what your thoughts and or position is on RA or OA right now. So we'll let Jess start, and I'll mute myself.
So I'm Jess Hill. If you don't know me, I've been an RA, OA seller, really RA for 4 years, OA in the past year, and then now I'm diving into wholesale. So as for RA, it's one of my favorite. I've come from a couponing background, so it was a great transition to just sell things from all of the different discounts that I found in all the different stores or clearance or whatever. So when I'm teaching RA, I typically have my mentoring clients or the people that I'm teaching start with the store closest. So if you've never done RA, retail arbitrage is the act of purchasing saleable goods from retail stores and then selling them online. So I'm primarily Amazon. You can do it for all the sites, but I think a lot of us do, Amazon FBA, and Merchant Fulfilled. So I guess if you were saying, hey, what's your best advice as far as if I wanted to start retail arbitrage, it would be, go to the nearest store or the store that's most plentiful in your region and master it. Because once you master one store, you get all of the you figure out their sales cycles, you figure out their clearance cycles, you get to know people, you create those relationships, and then you can do that same pattern at the next store. So when I talk about relationships, and we have this weird thing going on right now in our globally, but what could you do with those relationships, that you've established over the years? Could you call those managers of those retail stores and see if you can pick stuff up that you have purchased via retail arbitrage, if you're allowed to leave? If you are totally unallowed to leave, then obviously Can you hear me? Okay. Obviously, don't leave. But if so, my county is still not. We're not like locked down. So I could call my Walgreens manager and say, "Hey, did you have this in stock? Can we just do a one-person transaction?" So I think right now it's just super weird, and I don't. We couldn't have predicted that this happened. During the summit, while we're trying to teach everyone how to do retail arbitrage, the benefits of doing retail arbitrage, or just going to stores, and learning it. So one of the benefits is a good way to review that, right? You can go
Okay.
and
So you have weird sound.
do.
It could be because do you have multiple things running in the background on your computer right now?
Hi. Let me check.
Hi.
Oh no, here she
Do
goes.
sometimes that can degrade your sound, but you are coming in and out. You did say some great stuff at the beginning, and then you kind of chopped up a little bit.
I'm closing all of it.
Okay.
Okay.
And then
It
Greg is here, so I'm gonna get him up to speed real quick. So Greg, hey,
right. Or is it because my kids are doing dishes?
you kids are doing dishes. Okay.
Is that why?
So
Is it that the sound?
no, it's
Oh,
just
okay.
you're in a washing machine every once in a while.
Okay. I'm gonna go upstairs then. I'm gonna mute myself.
All right. So, Greg, this is what we're doing. We have our distinguished panel, of which you were part of. And Jess is speaking first. And what I'm asking is each one of you to just talk about retail arbitrage and online arbitrage, suggestions, thoughts, feelings about it, and talking about it in today's climate. What would you recommend? How would you recommend people pivot? So then that way, we can provide some good input or feedback on how people can transition in the middle of COVID-19 or how they're handling it. So Jess was talking first and we were hearing her. And then there were moments where we couldn't really hear her very well. So she moved to a new room.
Okay.
But Jess finish and then we'll move to Perry and then you, Greg. So I'm going to mute myself.
Okay. So can you hear me now? Is that better? It's better? Okay, good. Sorry. I was downstairs, 4 kids doing dishes. Okay, so what I was mentioning as far as like we couldn't predict what was happening when we scheduled the summit. This was obviously not, so right now, retail arbitrage is still viable, hopefully in the future. But what I was thinking was there's a couple of things that you can do to leverage either your relationships with the managers in the stores that still have inventory on their shelves, but perhaps are limited on, you can't go out or you can't, you're not, there's like, you could go to Walgreens if you're picking up your prescription, but do you have a relationship with that Walgreens manager where you could pick up your replens too? I don't know, right? And then another thought that of course just popped in and then popped out of my head. I think if I figured out, never mind on that. So I guess it's hard to say, what we should do right now. And then leveraging those relationships to see what you could do as far as like if they know other people that have stuff on their shelves that they need to get rid of, So I think a part of it is, if you're a brand new seller, obviously not allowed to do RA right now because we're all on lockdown, but just to explore it for the future. Unmute. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, I unmuted myself. So yeah, I think for new sellers, I would agree with that to some extent. I think there's still some opportunity. It just depends. You got to do OA, and there's different ways to do OA, and you might want to pivot. So I don't want to steal anybody else's thunder. I will add my comments at the end. So Mr. Perry, share your thoughts and what how you feel about retail arbitrage and online arbitrage, and what you think people could do right now to pivot and or make adjustments to their current plan.
Yeah, sure thing. We've kind of dabbled in all aspects of retail arbitrage over the years. We started with like general clearance store, clearance aisle stuff, and then did books, moved through groceries for a while, and into shoes and clothes. I'll just tell you guys how we're handling it and what the kind of things we're thinking about. First of all, I told my shoppers a couple of weeks ago, like, there's going to be stocking jobs, warehouse jobs, Amazon jobs. If you're low risk, and a lot of my shoppers are early 20s, early to late 20s, healthy kids, some of my kids, they went and got Amazon jobs. So there's that. There's one way to pivot if you're full time. But we're also looking at this, like, what kind of education do we want to like invest in our people and in ourselves? I am putting some of my people through training for tactical arbitrage so that they can maybe like do some low grade OA for makeup and stuff. Because we do have a few employees that are essential employees for the security of our property. We sell some grocery items here and there. Wholesale, we have a wholesale account with a grocery supplier. So training, investing in training. Kim and I on a higher level with our retail arbitrage business. So our whole team, part-timers, VAs and everything, we're about 20 to 22 people. So we have a lot of moving parts. So we're looking at this and saying, what were we going to do anyway before COVID-19? And now we just need to do a little faster, right? So this week, after I get done participating in and around the summit, we're looking for, are there local regional grocery suppliers? Are there other local regional distributors where I can open up wholesale accounts, where I can take some of my VAs who are normally fixing my orphan listings or responding to price alerts, and I can put them on analyzing the new wholesale list that I'm going to hopefully get by the end of the week. So I can kind of keep the team working, even if it's at half speed, right? Because my goal is to make my people feel like we're still a family, we're still a team, and we're going to do this together. So that's what we're focusing on. And then lastly, when the gates shut on FBA last Monday night or Tuesday morning, we had 300 or 400 pieces we had just bought Monday, and we hadn't shipped to Amazon yet. So we're slowly converting all the stuff we have in-house to merchant fulfilled. And we're learning, like, for 5 years, I've been 100% FBA. I used to run pick and pack warehouses for a catalog company. And so I was like, I did my time picking orders. I ain't picking no freaking orders. It ain't happening. And then God slapped me in the head and said, now you're going to pick orders, right? So we're learning merchant fulfilled. And we've also got like our Poshmark. We sell our Amazon returns through Poshmark and Mercari and eBay. So we're doing that. And then I have some services where I'm learning to connect my merchant fulfill inventory over to my eBay account. So just all the things that we can do internally to keep the little bit of sales moving, we're doing that too.
I absolutely love that. So I want to piggyback off of a couple of things you said. So local, a lot of people are not really thinking about that, especially retail arbitragers. And so think about your local stores that are mom and pops or independently owned, where they feel like they have to close their doors. This is a great opportunity for a retail arbitrager to partner with an existing local somebody that you either have frequented or or you drive by, and just reach out to them and say, hey, I see you don't have a presence online. Let me help you. And so reaching out to them, helping them to survive, helps you to survive, and everybody gets to make money in the middle of that. eBay is right now also a great opportunity. A lot of people, we all started off at eBay, and we moved to Amazon, going back. I mean, I do them all, but we're going back to eBay because Amazon's putting all of these, restrictions, and it's probably going to be in place for a little bit, and that's something that people need to think about. But switching to merchant fulfilled is absolutely great. eBay sales are going through the roof right now. And when I think about the local, also think about your local, like there's co-ops that people have, local grocers, people that make, like, I have one restaurant that they make this special sauce, and they're struggling to stay alive in this climate. And so we offer to put their sauce up because their sauce is unique. Again, getting more exposure, getting more eyeballs on the product, because there's still people out there buying. So those are some things, just to piggyback off of what you said, that I totally 100% agree. The last one is Canada doesn't have the same restrictions.
Right.
As the
so
US.
Weird.
And so because Canada doesn't have the same restrictions, I think as retail arbitragers or wholesale or whatever, everyone needs to explore the possibilities of Canada. I think before, people couldn't make the numbers work, they couldn't make the conversion work, they couldn't make the, all of that stuff. But again, the border is still open to Canada trade. And so because trade is still viable, you can move back and forth across the border, look at prep centers in Canada to see if they can help you and keep income flow going. But yeah, switching to merchant fulfilled and looking at Canada. So Greg, everything's a song, Greg. I'm warning you now. Everything's a song.
Everything's a song. That's all right. So here's what I'm personally doing. I have been on Amazon. This is going to be my 6th full-time year on Amazon, and I've never merchant fulfilled anything. I've always been 100% FBA. That is partly due to having a full-time job and not having time to go to the post office every day. And so I'm still sticking to that strategy because I kind of do my own thing. I've got my own strategy that works for me, and I'm sticking to that. I don't need to merchant fulfill anything right now. I've still got some FBA inventory. I'm going to wait this thing out. I'm prepping inventory right now. But to those people that are just starting out, I would kind of piggyback on what's already been said. If you want to get into retail arbitrage right now, I would look at grocery items, health and beauty items, the stuff that people need and want right now. And then my personal preference that I would do, if you're going to sell it on Amazon, make sure you're looking at the Keepa data on the item. Look at all the historical information as far as what the price usually is when Amazon is out of stock, and stick around those price points. Make sure it's profitable at the historical price points when Amazon is out of stock, so you don't get in trouble with Amazon cracking down on sellers right now. So you have something to go by if Amazon decides to like make a case with you or whatever. So protect yourself that way. If I was going to personally, if I needed to merchant fulfill something to sell something right now, I personally would not sell it on Amazon. I would sell it on eBay just to keep my Amazon account a little bit more safe, as you say. But it's funny that you said something about Canada. I actually made a toy shipment to Canada today. So I'm waiting for Pauline to, approve all that kind of stuff. Hopefully get the labels on it tomorrow and send it on its way. I sell toys, I buy and hold toys, and I'm still sticking to that strategy. I always am buying stuff that I'm sending in months later. And so I'm still buying OA items online right now that I'm going to sell at Christmas time because there's some really good deals out there. And I think that with all the stuff that's going on, I think that retail arbitrage in Q3 and Q4 are going to be some of the best opportunities that we've ever seen this year because of all this. I think especially, well, it's going to be in every category, but I do toys for the most part. I think retailers are, they're mostly selling groceries and health and beauty items, all that kind of stuff. They're selling that retail too, but nobody's going in the stores to buy toys right now. People are excuse me, doing that online. And so I think they're going to have a surplus of inventory. And when the major retailers do their markdown schedules in July and August and stuff, Walmart and Target marks down toys every year during July and August. They're going to have to do it again. And there's going to be a surplus of inventory that they're going to have to get rid of. They're going to have to make opportunities available for, really deep discounts. And that's where we're going to be coming in and stepping in as Amazon sellers and scooping it all up, because people are still going to be nervous about going to stores. And so I think it's going to just create a huge opportunity later this year. So that's what I'm looking forward to. Like I said, I'm sticking to my game plan. It hasn't thrown me off of that yet. And so, yeah.
I absolutely love that. So I'm going to piggyback off a couple of things you said. So one, he's absolutely right around what the stores are going to have. They're still going to have some level of movement, and they're going to put a bunch of stuff on clearance. Now, there's other parts of the stores right now, the physical stores, where they're not getting any type of traction because everybody's buying all the replenishables. They're buying water. They're buying stuff that they, to sustain themselves. And so the fact that the other parts of the stores are getting neglected, you're probably going to see some online deals. So online arbitrage is going to be potentially an opportunity for people as stores start to struggle to move some of the other stuff that's in the store that's not getting touched, that typically would get touched. That's the first thing. The second thing is you're absolutely right around the stats. I think the last thing I looked at, the stats for online buying was 14.9% from 2000. It increased 14.9%, 2018 to 2019. from 2019 to 2020, they had predicted it was going to go up to 17% or higher, and it has gone up to over 40% in the last 30 days. So this is going to become the new norm, whereas people who were apprehensive about buying things online, now they've been forced to do it. And this is not just in the US, this is globally. So this is a global opportunity for everybody. Everyone is now buying things online. We're doing classes online. We're doing piano class online. Everything is being pushed to online. Doctor's appointments are now being pushed to online because people never saw it as a viable option. And now they've been forced into it's a viable option. It kind of like feels like the Jetsons right now. So, so because of that, after this is over, as he said, there will be some people that will be apprehensive about buying things in stores. And so those people will still continue to buy online. So this is actually a window that it can surge for you in your business. So I would explore looking at clearance in stores, just going to their website and just seeing, because they're not getting traction in other parts of the store that they typically would, and going to see what they've marked down and what you can potentially take advantage of. He mentioned he went to Canada. There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
High five to you. And so I think all of those things are things that people should be thinking about. Go ahead, Jess.
All right, I'm unmuted now.
Yes.
Okay. Some things that the people need to think about. I mean, I agree that this is, I want to find the silver lining in everything, and I hope that everyone is healthy that is, on the call and everything. But I do think it is kind of like everybody else is going to pivot to online. So just be thinking about that. Like, if you have time, like what Greg was saying, or what Perry was saying, was their training on tactical arbitrage. If you have been an RAer for a long time, now's the time. You've been mastering those stores. Now master the store online. It's very similar, and get those sales cycles, right? Figure out those sales cycles. They're similar to from in-store than online, right? And then if you are looking to, once you get that audit of all the brands and all the different categories, then you can start pivoting into getting a few wholesale accounts, And so it's really making a robust system for something like this, if this ever happens, because it's here and it's happening. So really just kind of like figuring out what you're, try not to panic. And then figuring out what the next steps are for your business, your health, and then your employees, right? So if you're training, or if you're hiring a VA, just really get to those most profitable tasks first, right? Because the point of doing all of this is to make a profit, and then, see where the next step lies.
All right. I agree, Mr. Perry. What are your thoughts?
I like that Greg is doing toys, right? One thing I was going to say is we all have that entrepreneurial itch, and we all, like, our little radars went off when Amazon said there's only 6 categories they're allowing. But those are probably the 6 categories of stuff that need to stay in your home grocery store for your neighbors. But toys are not essential, right? There are things that people need that are not essential, that's not taking away from your community, that are selling like hotcakes right now. Toys and games are one of the things that, the little bit that we have, we're mostly shoes and clothes, they went through the roof. Baby clothes, I've seen swimsuits start to pick up a little bit. So there are opportunities that are like, stay safe, stay healthy. Don't be selling the canned beans on Amazon that your neighbor might need and it's sitting in Walmart, right? But there are some pretty cool opportunities out there. And I just want to piggyback on what you were saying, Nicole, because I totally forgot. Like, this is a God thing, but the week before everything got shut down, a friend of my family's contacted us because he had a grocery product that he's been merchant fulfilling and wants us to help him get into FBA and improve his listings and all that stuff. Many, many, many RA sellers don't give themselves enough credit, and they don't give themselves enough credit in this way. You have skills that are absolutely worth money, that are marketable skills that other people in a brick and mortar business that have some little, 3 ounces of spice they sell at the farmer's market, or a bigger company that might distribute products, they would love to know how to navigate Amazon. Now, you don't have to know how to build a listing but I bet we all know someone who can build a listing, right? You don't have to know how to take product photography, but I bet we all know someone who can take product photography. We don't have to know someone who, we don't have to be the one to do the keywords, right? And the listing optimization. If you know someone, if you sit back and you look at all the tools you know, and all the Facebook groups you know, and all the people you know, I'll bet you could, pardon me, find a service provider who could help you put together a little package where you could go to someone and say, let me help you get your stuff on Amazon. And then say, hey, Bob, can you help me take these pictures? I'll mail you a product because the post office is still running, UPS still running. Hey, Sally, here's the product. Can you teach me a little bit and let's figure out the keywords? And you can be the point man and bring that all together. And that can be powerful in a time like this. Because like you said, online is surging. And people have asked me, do you think Amazon's going to shut down? No. Why? Because Amazon is known to go into the hole, to sell at a loss. Why? To build their customer base. And if they're surging 30, 40% right now, Jeff Bezos is going to do everything he can to hang on to those customers, even if it means paying overtime, even if it means paying overtime and losing money on the process. He's going to hook those customers in. He's going to keep those customers as much as he can. Might slow down, but he's going to keep those customers.
I so agree with you.
I want to piggyback on
y'all
there.
have,
I
huh?
was going to piggyback on something there real quick.
Go ahead.
I was going to say that, you know, we're used to Amazon and we know how Amazon works, but, you know, I always tell people all the time that Amazon, yeah, you can buy products on Amazon, but Amazon, at the end of the day, they aren't really selling products. They're selling confidence. They're selling customer service. Like, that's the main thing that they are doing. I mention it in the book and my groups all the time. It was like, especially with toys, toys spike like every year, like the 2 weeks, 10 days before Christmas. And people are only shopping for toys on Amazon during that crucial window because Amazon mundanely delivers them other items all other 355 days of the year. Like, they're just, I mean, constantly, you know, in front of people and constantly serving them. People know and trust Amazon that they're going to get the item that they want delivered to their doorstep in a reasonable amount of time with no hassle. Return policy is very buyer friendly, as we all know. But that's what they're doing. They're in the customer service business and the confidence business. And so as Amazon sellers, we get to tap into that trust. All right, that's the main thing that I want to point out, is that Amazon, people hear the word Amazon and they have a positive experience. I see that all the time when I go into a retail store and I have like a cart full of stuff, and I inevitably get somebody to ask me the question, what are you doing with all that? If I say, oh, I'm a reseller, half the time I get a negative response. If I say I'm an Amazon seller, it's almost all the time positive, because people associate Amazon with something good because they know that they've been served well by Amazon. And think of a reseller just as somebody that's trying to scam people. But, you know, I can go into all that conversation and do that debate all day. But the main thing is that people trust Amazon, and when you associate with Amazon, then people are going to buy from you.
I'd agree. I was going to add also to what Perry was saying. This is that window for those of you who have, I just was downstairs and she was talking about her death pile. So this is this opportunity for those of you who have death piles, or maybe you pulled inventory back because you didn't want to pay long-term storage fees, like toys, like maybe you pulled some back to school, or you had back to school that you had stored up for next year, for this school year coming up. This is your opportunity. Put the school supplies up. If you have them, put them up. They are cleaning the house because all these kids went to school, and of course they left their backpacks there because they thought they were coming back to school today. So backpacks are in lockers at schools everywhere in the US. And there's parents trying to figure out, where is this pencil? I need a notebook piece of paper so I can figure out what is the square root of pi. Like, they're trying to write things down and they have no paper because everything is at school. She's like raising her hand. So if you have school supplies or you have access to school supplies, if you're one of those people that, I do the clearance, we bought a boatload. We bought I think they're like over 100 and something packs of those bound pre-made school packets that they sell at Kroger. You know, they were selling them for like 25, 30 bucks, and we bought them on clearance for like $1 or something. Like people, again, we buy after the season is over, so we bought them on clearance. People are looking for school supplies. Parents are looking for activities for their kids to do. They're looking for puzzles. They're looking for crayons. They're looking for they're looking for all construction paper. They're looking for activities, looking for games, because you talked about games. So anything that you have that can keep a child engaged, somehow educate them or inform them, these are opportunities that people need to invest in and look into. You know, those videos that you see going around on Facebook where they have like mundane things that you can make from around the house, like somebody could put together some bundles. There's still the opportunity to do some stuff, to still make some money. So I wanted to put that out there, find some suppliers that have that stuff, because they're thinking, I'm not going to get any traction right now because everybody's buying replenishables. You could be that person that goes to your wholesale supplier, puts together 2 or 3 things to keep kids distracted, put that listing up and sell it like hotcakes right now, because parents are aunts. I'm just being honest. So everybody, I want to tell you, so everybody unmute yourselves.
Okay, good.
If you have questions, put them in the chat so that we can answer them. There's also, inside the Facebook group, you can click on the event for the RAOA and type your questions in there as well. Either one, we're here to answer your questions. We're just gonna talk until somebody asks us a question. But I think those are all opportunities. So go ahead, Perry.
Well, something Greg said about learning Keepa, and he's absolutely right. As we even though we're buying non-essential stuff, we still we want to be able to price without pricing on price jumps, right? Because a lot of stuff jumped up in the last couple of weeks. So if you're new to RA and you don't know what Keepa is, go to keepa.com, and this is one of the first tools you want to buy, right? They have a subscription for like $17 a month or something for a data, so you can see ranks and price. That it's essential. But you go down the bottom of the Keepa page, there's a little link. I didn't know about this for like 3 years. It says statistic at the bottom of the Keepa chart. Click on statistic and you can see the 90-day and 100, I think 30 and 180-day, maybe Greg can tell me, but you see average pricing over a period of time, and that'll help you hedge against those price spikes.
Yeah, you can see day, week, 3 months, a year, and then if it's over a year, however many days it's been on the platform.
Yeah.
Right.
You want to look at the historical data so you can set your price accordingly. And then I know for a lot, a lot of my followers are RAers, and we set our repricer at a significant, because sometimes you can sell something for 600% return on investment. So maybe just a reminder to revisit your repricer, and make sure that if you do need to set those maximums as far as what Keepa is showing for the historical data, so that it doesn't go out, because it's different. Like when we're in Q4, it's not considered a listing violation to sell a toy for 300-400% return on investment. But this is different. This is, medical devices. This is like health, and this is different. So that was another thing that I've been talking with my mentoring clients and people that are my followers is double check your repricer, go in and set your maximums. That way nothing accidentally goes out, because we got mops removed and they don't say antibacterial, you don't think that they're going to get removed, but then you're like, well, great. Now these are, so we don't really know what's going to get removed. We kind of know, what category, but just that was kind of one thing that I wanted to kind of give a reminder to everybody.
Well, so one of my thoughts from my people was, just to piggyback off that, people are hypersensitive right now to high prices, and even if it's like Uno, you're selling a deck of Uno cards, you don't accidentally sell it for 20 bucks and get that negative review. That might be a little bit tough to get off there. So I know for me, we're mostly shoes and clothes. We have a ton of it in the inventory at Amazon, but I just didn't want to really deal with any negative pushback when I accidentally priced too high for my repricer.
Right. Good call. People are
on,
hypersensitive.
on eBay, again, is still always a viable option if you have inventory. Because some people are struggling right now. Their business is 100% RA and OA. And I don't know, hypothetically, maybe they're just selling in curtains and that's what they do. Just make
Right.
it up.
Right.
It's true.
And so they're struggling. They are having a hard time seeing how to pivot. They're having a hard time figuring out how to pivot. So this may be an opportunity for you to expand into something else. Remember that there are other ways in which you can make money right now. There's delivery is spiking right now. So
Oh yeah.
opportunity, there's nothing wrong with taking a job. There's absolutely nothing wrong with taking a job. So
Right.
delivery is spiking.
Didn't they just waive their listing fees for stores for the next 2 months? I think
On
they got
eBay?
listings
Yeah,
if you have a store.
there you go. So
And you give
move all your
50,000 listings, right? Didn't they
Right.
yeah,
publish that
50,000.
yesterday?
Yeah.
50,000. That's a
50,000.
ridiculous amount of listings.
Right. Throw all your stuff up because they know that Amazon's not taking it. So eBay's like, throw it up, throw it up. So
Right. I mean, I've been on Mercari, and like I said before, I sold 12 things on Sunday, and I was like, well, okay then. I actually had my daughters, they listed their own stuff, and so they're selling stuff. This is an opportunity. My kids do go to public school, but let's learn business while you're here. So that was kind of fun for them. Well, it was fun for me. I don't know how fun for them, but it's a lesson.
Oh, well, that reminds me. My 11-year-old daughter has been bugging me to help her start a merch account. We're having trouble getting her approved. So I know that's kind of your wheelhouse. But I've actually got some old public domain books that kids' books from 100 years old. I'm going to have her type them up, and we're going to play around with Kindle print on demand and Kindle books and see if we can figure it out. That's something to do in the afternoons when it's a little rainy, can't go out and play. But I'll give her the profit off that. We'll just put it up on my account, and if we can make a little audiobook out of it, because I know those pieces are out there in Kindle print on demand. So you can do a little bit of work, create an audiobook, you can create a Kindle version, you can create a print on demand. That'd be a pretty cool thing if we can get that going.
Well, and she's 11. Yeah, that would be the perfect time to start building her asset column.
Yeah, exactly.
right. I'd agree with you. So we created, most people don't even know this because it's sitting on the shelf, but we created eCom Junior actually last March. And it was supposed to roll out last year, but it didn't. So anyway, cat's out of the bag. But but we did significant research on what's required to be able to sell on different platforms. Most of the platforms, you have to have an adult that's also on the account. And or the person has to be over 18 years old. So you can establish accounts for your kids, but they have to be over 18. There's only a couple of accounts. A couple of them will let the kids have their own account, but there has to be an 18-year-old on it. I think Etsy is one of them. Will let you do over 13. So for those of you that have kiddos, we have been working hard in this house to teach kids how to do e-commerce. We've recorded videos showing how to do that, how to do shipments, how to do listings, how to do all of that. And so this is an opportunity for you to get your kids on board, because again, when we get on the other side of this, when we are talking 6 months, 9 months, 12, 18 months from now, it's going to be booming for those of us who weathered the storm and figured out how to pivot. And so this is an opportunity for you to teach your kids a skill so that they have options later on in life. This is an opportunity for you to grow your business exponentially, because you can be running in parallel with your kids, because Tony took over my accounts this year, and who's my son. And so he took over the management of my accounts this year. So this is a great opportunity to get your kids involved. And even if you don't want to set up accounts for your kids, this is an opportunity for you to pull your kids into the business. As you said earlier, Amy, getting the kids, like they're at home, they're not going anywhere for probably another 2 to 3 weeks. So have them go through their closet, their toys. The stuff goes up on eBay, goes up on Poshmark, Mercari, 5 Mile Offer Up, Facebook Marketplace. Put this stuff up. Put stuff up, list it, stuff you haven't touched, stuff that just have kids, get some exposure. Have them help you with shipments, all of that, because this is a great opportunity to do that.
I mean, we listed Pokemon cards. My son made $12 overnight. He was so excited.
Yeah.
And I was like, you got to print the label. You got to, we got to ship it. So he did all of it. And he was like throwing the money around. And I'm like, yes, because of course I had cash for him immediately. But, and It's
Kids
exciting.
kids stuff is selling right now.
Oh
That's
yeah. Oh yeah.
stuff is
Pokemon.
selling. So if they
Lots
got
of 20.
stuff, huh?
Yeah. Lots of 20 Pokemon cards. Just so you know. Mercari. Do it. Get rid of them.
So the other thing I was saying about getting a job, so the Amazon warehouses,
Yep.
food delivery is options, making food in restaurants is an option. Grocery stores are hiring like crazy right now because they're understaffed. So there, if you have to get a job because you're in a unique category, you can't see any other way to pivot. Though there's nothing wrong with going to a job until you can come back to what you're used to.
My daughter's starting pay, the three of them started at $17. If you worked the night shift, they're making almost $20 an hour. And they were told almost unlimited overtime till May. So
Where?
at Amazon,
At
at a
Amazon.
fulfillment center. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was pretty exciting for them. Now, what excited me is they work for daddy and they're going to have to work 5 days to make what they were making about 3.5 for daddy. So they'll be coming back.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. For sure.
Talking about business and the fulfillment centers. If you're a seller or you need like something to help you while you're working at home, like labels or poly bags or something like that. I'm sure most of you have noticed that if you try to order anything off of Amazon right now through Amazon Prime, even though it's Prime, it's like saying that it's going to be delivered in like April 21st. So it's like a month out. But if you have an Amazon business account and you order from your business account, it's delivered in 3 days. Exact same item.
Hot tip.
I didn't even know that.
Exact same
Everybody
item.
needs to write that one down. He just walked in here and dropped it, didn't he?
Dropped it.
So, I did that just the other day. It's saying it's going to be delivered Thursday.
Nice.
Amazon business account. You
So
can
if you're going to be selling on Amazon anyway, you need an Amazon business account. So
I didn't even think about that. But I have plenty of poly
I hadn't thought about it either.
That's probably
yeah.
why.
I'm writing that
Good to
down
know.
right now.
Or if you need something essential, if you really need something essential, I mean, you could definitely, I guess you could justify it any way you need to.
There you go. So we want you all to ask the questions. If you have questions, what questions do you want answered or would you like us to explore answers to regarding retail arbitrage and online arbitrage right now? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about your concerns. Let's talk about, because we're going to recover from this. I would say your fears, but we're going to recover from this. We really are.
Right. I was just saying pivot, not panic,
Yes.
and just what Perry was saying was do the next right thing and just start doing something else, learning something else. And, we can sit here and we can fill our asset column while we're here. The average millionaire has 7 income streams. So what can you add to it? And so if you have been doing RA, do OA. If you've been doing both, add wholesale. Now, what other things? Can you become a coach? Can you, create a Shopify store if you have a private label product that is non-essential? Like, there are ways to do it. A Shopify store, you could easily set it up in an afternoon and have it up and running for your niche. You can start pinning stuff and tweeting stuff for free to get the word out. I was talking to a friend the other night who sells the vent covers. Now they're still selling, but they're not essential, so the shipping. So now, pivot and create a Shopify store. It's only $30 a month. And then maybe you can get a few more sales. You know what I'm saying? So just try not to panic and then just think about what you could add. And it might actually be a blessing. You might really love it. Or maybe you start a blog and you do affiliate links or whatever.
Right.
But I'll just speak about mindset for a second. To a couple of things. One, I remember I read a ton of business books in my 30s. And one thing that struck me is the guys that were successful often had to be successful 2 or 3 or 4 times. And what I mean is they would lose everything. They would
Right.
make $1 million and then some regulatory change or some unexpected business disaster, lose everything. And what did they do? They just kept pressing forward. And the other thing about mindset is I have to coach myself on this stuff, right? When I watched the San Antonio mayor's press conference telling everybody to stay home, like through this last 2 weeks, I've been trying to pivot. And then something else will change. And I'll pivot again. Something else will change. I'll pivot again. Then last night he's like, If your business isn't on the list, it's forbidden. I got mad. Like it gets to me. Just because we're sitting here talking about what we're planning doesn't mean that we're not struggling with these same things, right? And so you really have to keep your mind and your attitude on a short leash so that you don't lose productive time, because you can either view this as lost time, which it's not, or opportunity time. And as long as you keep viewing it as opportunity time, then you're pressing forward with your business and getting yourself ready for success when this is over.
Right. Because you're going to come out on the other side of this. Again, those people who were able to maintain and sustain during this window, even if you had to pick up a job. On the other side of this, those who survive it will actually be at the top of the pile. I mean, somebody said, unfortunately, this is so true, but it's sad, but it's true. There's probably going to be some millionaires produced out of this because of the nature of, people have had to bow out. There's going to be some losses. Big companies are going to fold. I'm just keeping it honest. Some companies are going to fold. Some businesses are going to fold. Some people are going to be unemployed. They're going to be struggling. And so I always tell people, like, this is an opportunity to also show those people that who are struggling, let's just go through your house. You probably got at least 300 things that you could list right now on a platform. I'm not going to say all 300 of them are going to sell, but let's just start. The key is to just start. And I had to remind somebody, I'm like, Facebook is free, Instagram is free, Pinterest is free, Snapchat and Google Hangouts is free. Like, there's a bunch of stuff that is free. So if you have to get rid of your paid subscriptions to scale back a little bit, move to some other stuff. Yeah, that may mean some more manual work for you, but that's okay. Just reevaluate your business to figure out what you need to keep, what you need to reduce, as Amy would say, and what so that way you can weather this storm on the other side of it. Because we will come out of it. It just looks rough now. We all went from, hey, I'm going to the store to do this, and I'm going to the store to do that, and I found these on the shelf, and they had 20 of them, and I took them all. Like, we have in the stores, clearing the shelf, and then all of a sudden you tell us we got to be at home, and people can't, if you've been doing it long enough, they can't adjust their mindset. So, as Perry said, you have to, say, keep hope. You have to hold on to hope during this, and on the this journey, you will see massive, massive, massive success if you had a pivot.
Yeah. Just occurred to me randomly. I don't know many sellers who have actually taken the time to go through all of the Seller University videos in Seller Central.
Yes, I gave that reminder yesterday.
No time like the present, guys. Yeah, watch the videos. That way, it's Amazon's free training,
Yeah.
Why not?
And I think we can all get refreshed because we're, especially those of us that are merchant fulfilling, that was the big, I merchant fulfill things that are 13 ounces that I don't want them to break, right? My beauty stuff all year. But now I need to put some squishmallows and a couple other, I'm like, ooh, so that's what I've been reminding everyone was, yeah, for sure. Go through your Seller University. You don't have to sit and watch them. They can be on in the background while you're managing a child or whatever, right? Because you'll pick it up. I forgot about that. Oh yeah, that's a good thing too. I forgot, so absolutely, Perry.
Yeah. Nicole, do you guys have training videos in your group?
Yeah.
I mean, I know they can buy the summit, right? And they can rewatch all this.
They can buy the summit and they can rewatch it over and over again. So absolutely, you can buy the summit. It's $97. We're going to do a summary of everybody's bullet points. So that'll be part of the all access pass. So all of these bullet points, you can put them on the wall or remind yourself, get up in the morning, do your morning meditation and whatever else, and then go through the list. And at some point, some creativity is going to spark within you. You're going to be like, this is my pivot moment. Because again, we all know somebody who needs to get something online, whether it's, I talked about a mobile mechanic. I literally have a mobile mechanic. And I was like, why are you not online? People are looking for you right now.
Yeah,
Like,
they need
he
you.
was like, what? I said, you need to be online because people are looking for you. I was looking for somebody to fix my son's bike. I'm like, I'm looking for a mobile bike repair person. And as soon as I find that person, I'll be like, let me help you get online. There is a way to pivot in this.
Oh, yeah.
It's something you need. Somebody else needs the same thing because the kids want to ride a bike. They can't do it unless I can find somebody to fix the bike. So as soon as I find a mobile guy, I'll be like, okay, let me help you. I can get you up online today. We'll be done in 15 seconds. Like, oh, no, the mobile repair guy. I told him, I said, I need you to come look at my car. It's doing some kind of wobbly thing. I think it's the tire. He said, okay, what time do you want me to come over? I was like, you need to be online. People need to find you.
Yeah. Are you guys doing any of the where you list your FBA item as merchant fulfilled and then multi-channel fulfilling it?
I am not. I started doing some of the multi-channels. I had too many things going on last year, but I did actually, after the Q4 summit, I set up all my multi-channel stuff and then I stopped. So I'm going to move back to that. But because Tony is running my business right now, it's one of those things, it's like baby steps teaching him. So
Right. No. I was just wondering because, listing it twice and having two opportunities. I don't know. Are you guys doing that, Perry?
We're not. I did start to build a Shopify store last year to push my FBA offers to my own website. Right now, I don't know. I would love to hear what you got. Like, do you think Amazon's reliable enough to deliver your multi-channel order and not screw up your merchant fulfilled metrics?
Yeah, I would transition to a prep center. I mean, I'm not even going to try to do Amazon warehouse. Just do 100% merchant fulfilled, go to prep center. And so that's the path that I've gone. Like we've got, I don't know, probably 80, well, no more than that. We have a lot in a storage unit and then a lot downstairs. So we're going to transition to a prep center and then we're going to move back to the multi-channel and let them handle the distribution.
Merchant fulfilled.
An opportunity to give somebody else a job because circulation of money keeps the economy afloat.
Right.
So in my thinking about my business, I'm also thinking about who can I also help in the middle of this circulation, because we've got to keep the economy moving like a river. It can't go stale and flat. It cannot.
Right. I was just wondering if anybody was, because I know I had bought all these stupid ladles, and so I had like 400 stupid ladles in the warehouse, and then one of my mentors had said, well, why don't you create the 2-pack, the 3-pack, the 4-pack, the 10-pack of these stupid ladles? You make a mistake. And I sold a couple 6-packs. I don't know if it was like for like a restaurant or something, and I did sell a 10-pack. Now, was it 400? No. But I was wondering if people were doing that where you have your FBA inventory and you have a lot of stupid ladles or whatever you have. Are you also creating, to get rid of more, creating new listings with the multi-packs, but they're merchant fulfilled, but you fulfill them from your FBA inventory? Does that make sense?
Yes, that does make sense. And
don't buy ladles.
I will say that I have done that in the past, and so as my business partner, we've done that in the past.
Okay.
When we had a plentiful supply.
Yes.
When we see that thing start moving, we go take all the merchant fulfilled down.
Right. Well, I had 400 and I ended up even getting rid of 200. So it was a loss, but
here's the deal. That's the other thing. People are not exploring how can they repurpose their inventory.
Right.
Purpose.
I know.
Because there's a bunch of kids at home. Like, what thing have you seen on Pinterest that you could make something out of a ladle and you could bundle all those little?
It's a sword. I'm just kidding.
But
it could be all kinds of crazy stuff, but people just don't see that. And so this is, like I said, you got to get out of your right brain or left brain, get to your creative side, because there's an opportunity for the crap that you have. Repurpose it, rebundle it, recreate it, make it into something else. So those ladles could be. You could have done something probably really amazing with them right about.
I have some in my garage right now. You need one?
I don't need a ladle, no. But should I go and Google, because Google is your friend, go and Google something on Pinterest to maybe find something where kids have made some kind of toy with a ladle? Yeah, probably. So I'm going to give you an example. Yesterday, if you guys missed the private label session, you need to go ahead and upgrade to the All Access Pass. I'm telling you.
Right.
So Howard was speaking, it was the private label session, and Howard was talking about how the kids in his neighborhood are taking the boxes and they're making things to attach to the sides of the box, much like of a skateboard, so that it looks like they're riding in something or on something. So I thought about the nonprofit and kids riding in their wheelchair. And last year for Halloween, they made these cutouts for the kids in wheelchairs so that they look like they're riding in or on something. Okay. Somebody, I don't know who, maybe it's on this call, is going to get creative and take that to a whole nother level. Because it's not just skateboards. It's what can kids are bored. Attach to their bicycles and do some kind of cutout, do something with the bicycle with the boxes. What can they do with, scooters? They're riding those scooters, all kind of roller skates. Think about it. What kind of things, what kind of creativity? Because normally creativity comes out, you put stress on something. Somebody is trying to solve a problem or trying to fix something. So they get creative about it. So I'm like, somebody's going to come up with a private label product that's going to be cutouts for everything that moves that kids can be in, be on, or be attached to.
Yes. Okay. I was just wondering if anybody was doing the multi-channel fulfillment.
Yeah.
I know that
About a month.
Amazon today announced that they're not doing removal orders. So
Right.
I would think that
People are going to.
Yeah. That might be hard I wouldn't rely on them to do the multi-channel stuff right now, as far behind as they are.
Existing inventory, yeah.
Yeah.
But if you had inventory that you were ready to go, you could pull the trigger on. Again, this is when you look at a prep center. If they're not doing anything.
Right, for merchant fulfilled, not multi-channel. Yeah. I was just wondering. I didn't know, so thought I'd ask while I had you.
If you do, UPS has a service called UPS e-fulfillment. I was just exploring it the other day. They have two warehouses, one in Kentucky and one in California. You can send your merchant fulfilled orders there, and they'll ship them to your customers for you. The storage fees and the shipping and everything is all wrapped into one flat charge. They're actually storage fees. It's kind of a cool service. So you can get 2 to 3 day service to most of the country, and they give you a piece of software where you can cross-list everything. Like you can cross-list from your Amazon merchant fulfilled to eBay to other like 21 different platforms. So if you're still trying to get that merchant fulfilled but hands-off FBA effect, you might want to take a look at that. As far as
multi-channel, for sure. What is that called again?
UPS e-fulfillment.
E-fulfillment. All right. I go look up that. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I might pull the trigger. They give you 60-day free trial. So I might pull the trigger on it yet and send, half of the stuff I got sitting in my warehouse in here and just run a 60-day trial on it and see if it works. The other thing is, I've been talking about doing a local buy-sell Facebook group for my returns. If you've got a death pile, and you've got ShipStation and you can ship, you've got friends that like a bargain, and you're not going to get full price for most of your scratch and dent returns. Like if I get a shirt back and they've ripped the tags off, I'm not going to get MSRP or anything close to it. So you can give local people a bargain. You can still ship. It doesn't have to be pick up, but once this is over, you can waive the shipping if people want to come by and pick it up. If you can figure that piece out. I've got a commercial space, so they wouldn't be coming to my house. But I know plenty of bargain hunters, and I think tonight or tomorrow, before too much time passes, I'm going to set up a Facebook page just to sell my scratch and dent shoes and clothes to local people in San Antonio. If I don't do anything else but say, here's my Poshmark listing, I'll give you a 10% discount if you're local. That ought to get some eyeballs on my inventory and get some cash moving,
Right.
Absolutely.
Oh, I do a Facebook Marketplace, and I also have a consignor that I work with that takes, if it's stuff that is in good condition but the tags are off, she'll consign it for me. And I found her on Buy Sell Trade all day on Facebook Marketplace. Everything, old vacuums, they sell. By the way, sold one last week.
I mean, I saw in a Facebook group where a guy was buying old Ronco as seen on TV, the original as seen on TV kitchen appliance brands on Facebook Marketplace, and then flipping them on eBay for good money. So there is so much money to be made.
Yeah, you just have to be willing to look and like get that creative brain out and say, how can I do that? Because you could literally go on Facebook Marketplace and start picking up free pallets and create stuff, and sell it on Etsy. I mean, there's a lot of ways to hustle if you put your mind to it.
Yeah, liquidation is still alive and well. So,
liquidation is alive and well. That's right.
That's right.
Love me some liquidation.
You were going to say something?
Me?
I'm sorry? Okay.
Yeah.
No, sorry. Yeah, I was gonna say I hadn't touched the death pile in like over 3 years. I've partnered with a local friend, and I noticed that she was selling everything on Facebook Marketplace like crazy. And I approached her one day and said, "Hey, I have a ton of Amazon returns or inventory that I've bought to sell on Amazon. I get it home and it's not quite up to Amazon's new standards. Would you like to take it off my hands, get out of my hair, get out of my way, and make 50% of whatever you sell it for?" And she was like, absolutely. And so she's been selling that stuff for me on eBay and Facebook Marketplace for over 3 years now. And it's out of my way. I don't think about it. She gets all that kind of stuff. And we split the proceeds 50-50. She gives me a spreadsheet of everything that she sold, who she sold it to, what the price was. Everything's done. It's beautiful. And so I got like 6 or 7 boxes I'm going to take to her tomorrow.
Nice.
Where it's just utilizing somebody else in the community.
Yep.
It gives them a job. And it's something that I don't have to think about. So.
All right. Well, if there's last, I guess, closing words, anybody, I guess we can do a round table, whoever first closing about this topic.
Well, I wanted to thank you, Nicole, for having us in the eCom Sellers Summit. And all of the awesome speakers. It was so good to meet you guys, Greg and Perry, and everybody. Just hang in there. We can weather the storm. We are e-commerce sellers. This is the future. We just have to learn to pivot. But the silver lining is we'll have a lot more customers after this is all over because everybody's going to be shopping online.
That's absolutely true. And next.
Yeah, absolutely. I would just echo that. Thanks. It's been fun being part of this panel, and I'm looking forward to fielding questions tomorrow when my talk airs. As far as final thoughts, make productive use of your time. Don't look at it like you can't do what you want to do, but that you have an opportunity to do something you haven't been able to get to, right? And just really look for those training opportunities, those opportunities to expand your mindset or your skill set. Because we're probably going to be twiddling our thumbs if we're not careful for the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, I'm predicting, like I said, I'm not trying to wish it on nobody, but I wouldn't be surprised if we're stuck in the house for 4 weeks. I'm just saying. Somebody somewhere is going to lose their mind. Go ahead, Greg.
I'll just echo that. Just be productive. I've thoroughly enjoyed the last week. Getting to I prep a lot of inventory ahead of time and just fine tuning all the things that makes my business more efficient. And so I'm enjoying diving into that kind of stuff. And I just echo what I say to my group that I lead, to see the big picture. We talk about seeing the big picture with products all the time. I really am a student of Keepa and really look at Keepa charts for everything that I buy. And I always tell people that you can't go off of what something is selling for right now. You have to see the entire picture, the historical data, all that kind of stuff to make a really good buying decision. And you have to do that right now too. You have to see the big picture of things like this is temporary. We're going to get through this. And the big picture is that this is setting up to be just like the coil that is just kind of tightening it up. It's getting ready to be released for e-commerce going forward in the future. Like you said earlier, online shopping is only going to get stronger and bigger from here. And so see that big picture, don't get caught up in the day-to-day stuff where you're down and out. You can't get the inventory and stuff like that, but just see the big picture and that you're going to be able to make a lot of money in the future if you stick with it.
I'd agree. So my little closing, I guess, is what Greg said. That it's going to be okay. We are going to weather this storm. If you have to take a job, it's okay. It's okay. Some people are not prepared to accept that, and just remember at the end of the day, it is going to be okay. I would say be thinking about what people will potentially be buying in 6 to 9 to 12 to 18 months. So what would people be buying in 6 months and 9 months, and see what you can do to source those things, because they're probably on clearance right now. And people are not thinking about those things right now. They're just thinking about, do I have enough milk? Do I have enough bread? Enough toilet paper? We could not get off here without a toilet paper joke. But the toilet paper situation. Anyway, so be thinking about that, and be sourcing for that if you can. And we hope that this was a blessing to you. Go back and rewatch the replay. This will be uploaded in probably about an hour. And if you have any questions, don't forget the Facebook group is there. We're monitoring it. You can ask questions. So thank you all. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you for participating. Bye.